Have you ever wondered why the same person keeps showing up in your dreams? Sometimes night after night, sometimes in the strangest ways? Maybe it's a childhood friend you haven't seen in years. Maybe it's someone you loved deeply but lost. Or maybe it's a person you don't even talk to in real life anymore, yet in your dreams, they are alive, vivid, and unforgettable. It's not random. According to Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, this repetition is not a coincidence at all. Your dreams are not just meaningless illusions, they are messages from the deepest layers of your unconscious mind. And when someone keeps appearing in them, Jung believed it's because that person represents something far more important than you realize. Today we're going to dive deep into Jung's groundbreaking theories to uncover why this happens. We'll explore what it means when a certain person shows up again and again, the hidden psychology behind it, and most importantly, what your unconscious mind is trying to tell you. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your dreams the same way again. Jung's view of dreams. Carl Jung believed that dreams are not just random images produced by the brain. Instead, they are a direct communication from the unconscious. He called dreams the royal road to the unconscious mind. When you dream, your conscious guard is lowered. Your logical mind, your daily routines, your distractions, all of that falls away. What's left is the pure symbolic language of the psyche. Jung believed that every dream carries a message, and if you interpret it correctly, it can help you understand yourself in ways that waking life never could. But here's where it gets fascinating. When a specific person appears repeatedly, that's the unconscious mind insisting you pay attention. It's like your inner self knocking at the door saying, "This person matters. There is something unresolved here. Don't ignore it." Why certain people recur in dreams? There are several reasons someone might keep appearing in your dream, and according to Jung, each reason is connected to the symbolic function of the psyche. Unresolved emotions. Often recurring dream figures represent relationships or emotions you haven't fully processed. For example, maybe you parted ways with someone without closure. Maybe there's lingering love, guilt, anger, or forgiveness you never gave. The unconscious brings them back, not to torment you, but to remind you this chapter is not complete. The shadow. One of Jung's most famous concepts is the shadow, the hidden part of ourselves that we usually deny or repress. Sometimes the person who keeps showing up in your dream represents your shadow. They embody qualities you either dislike, fear, or deny in yourself. Their recurring presence is your psyche's way of saying, "Face this part of you. Stop running." The Anima or Animus. Jung also spoke about the inner feminine in men and the inner masculine in women. These archetypal energies often appear as figures in dreams. If someone of the opposite sex appears frequently, it might not just be about them. It could be your psyche showing you your inner opposite, calling you to integrate qualities like intuition, strength, sensitivity, or decisiveness. The messenger of growth. Sometimes the person is not about the past or the shadow at all. Instead, they are a symbolic messenger. They embody a direction your soul is trying to move toward. For example, if someone keeps showing up who is adventurous, bold, or spiritual, maybe your unconscious is telling you you need to bring more of this energy into your waking life. A personal story to humanize the idea. Imagine this. A woman dreams of her high school teacher almost every week. She hasn't seen him in decades. At first, she thinks it's random. But then she realizes he always appears in her dreams at moments when she feels lost or uncertain. Why him? Because in her teenage years, he was the one who believed in her when she doubted herself. Her unconscious keeps reviving his image, not because of the man himself, but because of what he represents. Guidance, belief, and inner confidence. Jung would say that this figure is a living symbol of her own inner mentor, her capacity to guide herself. Dreams as symbolic mirrors. One of Jung's most powerful ideas is that dream figures are not always literal people. Instead, they are symbols wearing familiar faces. Your unconscious chooses someone you know because that face is a shortcut to a deeper meaning. Think of it like this: your psyche wants to talk to you in a language you understand. If it wants to show you courage, it might use the face of a friend you always admired for their bravery. If it wants to remind you of betrayal, it may bring back the image of someone who once broke your trust. The person you see in the dream is not always about them. It's about what they represent inside you. This is why Jung encouraged people to ask after every dream, what quality does this person represent to me? What emotions come up when I see them? What does my unconscious want me to notice through their presence? The emotional weight of dreams. There's a reason why some dream figures feel unforgettable. You may wake up with your heart racing, tears in your eyes, or a deep sense of longing. That emotional weight is a clue. Jung believed the intensity of a dream is directly related to the urgency of its message. So if someone appears repeatedly and your emotional response is strong, whether it's love, fear, anger, or sadness, that's your psyche waving a red flag. It's saying, look here, this matters. Don't dismiss it. The unfinished business theory. Let's say you keep dreaming of an old friend. You don't talk anymore, maybe because of distance or conflict. Yet night after night, there they are. Jung would suggest this isn't necessarily about wanting to reconnect with that person in waking life. Instead, it's about unfinished business inside you. Maybe that friend represents a part of your youth, your innocence, your sense of play. Maybe their absence left you with feelings of abandonment. The unconscious revives them because you still carry that unresolved wound. Until you address the wound, by accepting it, learning from it, or forgiving it, it will keep surfacing. That's why Jung said dreams are like letters from the unconscious. If you ignore them, the letters keep arriving. If you open them, the message changes you. The shadow in disguise. One of the most haunting reasons someone may appear in your dream is that they embody your shadow. The shadow, in Jung's words, is the dark side of the personality, the traits we dislike, deny, or refuse to admit we have. For example, if you see someone in your dream who is selfish, manipulative, or cruel, it may disturb you. But Jung would ask, what part of that person lives inside you? This doesn't mean you are cruel or manipulative in the same way, but perhaps there is a part of you that wants more control, or a part that resents always being too selfless. The shadow figure comes not to shame you, but to remind you, wholeness requires facing all of yourself, not just the parts you like. When the same person keeps showing up, it may be because your shadow is knocking, waiting for acknowledgement. And once you face it, the dream often changes. The Anima and Animus, the inner beloved. Another reason someone appears over and over in dreams is Jung's concept of the Anima and Animus. The Anima is the feminine energy within a man, and the Animus is the masculine energy in a woman. According to Jung, every person carries both, and these archetypes often appear in dreams as real people. So, if a woman keeps dreaming about a strong, mysterious man, Jung would suggest this is not necessarily about a literal man. It may be her anima, her inner masculine, calling her to integrate strength, confidence, or clarity. Likewise, if a man dreams of a wise or nurturing woman, it may be his anima, his inner feminine, calling him to embrace intuition, compassion, or creativity. This is why Jung believed recurring dream figures are often our soul's mirror, showing us what we need to balance within ourselves. A story of the Anima. Picture this: a young man keeps dreaming about an old classmate, a girl he barely talked to in real life. She appears again and again, often in moments when he feels lost or uncertain. Over time, he realizes she always shows up in dreams offering guidance, encouragement, or comfort. Was it really about her? No. Jung would say she was a projection of his anima, his inner feminine, reminding him to trust his own intuition, to soften his rigid thinking, to listen to the quiet wisdom inside. The girl was not just a dream character, she was his inner balance knocking at the door. So the next time someone appears in your dream, whether it's a loved one, a stranger, or even someone from your past, don't dismiss it. Jung reminds us that these figures are not just random characters. They are symbols of your inner world, mirrors of your unresolved emotions, guides to your hidden strengths, and sometimes even doorways to the parts of yourself you've been afraid to face. Dreams are the voice of your unconscious. They speak in images, in faces, in symbols. And when someone keeps appearing, it's because your psyche refuses to let you forget the lesson they carry. Maybe they are showing you where healing is needed. Maybe they are pointing toward a strength you haven't claimed. Or maybe they are simply reminding you that wholeness comes not from ignoring, but from integrating every part of yourself. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So tonight, when you close your eyes, pay attention. Ask yourself, what does this person symbolize for me? What emotions do they stir inside? What part of myself are they calling me to embrace? Because the moment you listen to your dreams, not just as random noise, but as sacred